Hi ladies, thanks for coming on, Linda and Steph. I hope you can see okay. I've got the lights obviously away for the day. I've got plenty of lights on, so hopefully it should be fine. So, oh hi there Cindy, thanks for coming on, good morning. Funny saying that, isn't it? So I'll wait and see if anybody else comes on and then I will start. But thanks for coming in today. I'm going to do some parchment. These are some of the things I've done before. And I'm going to just show you how easy it is to do. Parchment Craft used to be quite difficult because it was so much different from what it is now. Just put this up slightly. I believe, not that I did it before, but I did start doing this one a couple of years ago. But I do believe that beforehand there was a lot of counting and just much more care was needed. So it's a very therapeutic craft to do. It's really lovely. I thoroughly enjoy it. So I thought I'd just come on today and show you a wee bit of some of the stuff I do. So these are just wee bits and pieces I do, and then I turn it over and do some white work on the back, and that is quite good as well. So there's that one, and I've used white parchment paper. I've used coloured parchment paper for these ones. That's the kind of Christmas one, which probably goes that way. Unfortunately, I didn't do any Christmas cards like this year, but I think next year I will. And then this one's a kind of Easter type one that I did last Easter, but I didn't ever use the card, make it into card. So we'll get started, and I'll just show you how you can do these parchment. So we've got 4 watching, I think. And that's fine. If anybody else comes in, that's fabulous. So I'll just sit down now, and I'll just show you what I use for my parchment craft. So I'll turn it round up, maybe better. So this is from a company called Clarity Stamps, which you probably have heard of in England. I don't know so much in America. Perhaps you have, probably have. So they now do these Groovy Plates, what's called Groovy Plates. And what it is, it's pieces of perspex, basically, that have a little groove in them on one side, and they're very clever. So this plate, oh, bashed the camera. This plate has got, this was a starter kit I bought from Groovy, well, from Clarity. So what you got with it was a mat to do all your parching at the top. Then you can turn round and it's a nice soft type mat where you can do your white work. And what I mean by white work was the, if I just get one of these back over here, is you can, so that's the wrong way, you can see that I've gone in and I've kind of coloured bits at the back using a bigger tool, which is usually this one, and I've coloured it from the back, which is what you do, and just kind of coloured in various areas just to give it a wee bit of a different kind of look, instead of it all just being, the outline. So that's what is meant by white work. So you would turn that over and that's like a, I'll just show you, like a spongy piece of, that's the wrong one. You just colour it in as such from the opposite side like that, and then that would come through as being done white. You see that there. Okay, so I'm going to start off. I've got some white parchment, which I'm just going to use. You'll see I've got these sticky things, but it will become apparent shortly as to why I've got the sticky things on. Hi Di, thanks for joining. I'm just doing some Parchment Craft. Just show people how easy it is to do. It's not like the Perigamo parchment of long ago. So you do get coloured parchment, as I showed you on these ones that I've done already, and you do get just white parchment. So I'll turn it back round to the harder side. It's not very hard, it's not huge hard, but it is hard. So with my starter kit, I got this alphabet type symbol. So I've got uppercase and lowercase alphabet plus symbols and some other symbols and a few square type things. So this is what you use to hold your other plate in place. It goes in here and that keeps it in place. It also got two Parchment Tools, which is number one side's number 1, which is the finest side, and then you've got number 2, which has got a kind of small ball on the edge, and then you get this is for doing your white work, and they don't have numbers, so you've got a slightly bigger ball end and then an even bigger one at that side. You can get piercers to pierce your parchment. I don't have that. I didn't get that yet. I've not done any of that. So and you also get this, which helps you to hold it in the area that you're working around as well. So I'll just show you what I did, and then I'll make it into a card. So I've got a couple of plates. So these are the plates, so you can get all different plates. That one's a Christmas one, and you can get all, I got this and this with my kit. So, you know, you put that into there and then you start your project. So I think I'm going to start with this one because it does make quite a nice scene. I'll just show you, and then we could use maybe the other one for making it into a card. So here's the plate. You've got to find the side. You feel that one side is smooth and one side is slightly raised, and this is the side that you put into your grid, or whatever you want to call it. Then you place your parchment paper over that area, and you've got these groovy tapes to stick your parchment so it doesn't move when you're doing your lines. I've got another one here which I can pop on. So this all came in the kit, and it was a pretty good kit. So the tool that I usually use is number 1 or number 2. So probably number 1 for drawing. If you want to add any white work, I would use number, well, it's not 3, I would use one of these 2. So I'm so glad that I'm getting such a better orientation this week. and that you can see. So we'll just start. So all you do is follow the line. Oh, that's the wrong way. I think so. You're just following the line along in that groove, and that makes your first line. Okay. The same, you go to the next one, and you're just going round to the groove. So just be careful with it. So this is number 1 that I'm using to make these marks, and you'll see when I take it off, you will see that we've made the mountains. I mean, you don't have to do these bits in the middle, you could do any bits of the ones you want on this particular plate. And it's just following it round, and there's your next one. So if I didn't want to put this in, I don't have to. So if I wanted the smaller moon, which I do, I would just go round there. And if I wanted the mountains, which I do, I would just follow them round. So you can see how easy it is to do, really, once you get started. It is very easy, and it's very therapeutic. Very therapeutic. And you can set off an evening and do this. You can even do it in front of the TV. I often sit with, I've got a sort of, it's not a lap tree, I've got it's a hard surface top thing I use, and I often sit and do it in front of the TV. So you could do that. Just pop this one in as well. There we go. And I'll just show you what I've done. So then you just take that off, and then you can just see on that side what I've done. So, and as I say, if you want to do white work, for instance, you would take this all off because you don't want to use that side. You're using the opposite spongy side. Oh, hi Karen, thanks for coming on. That's really nice of you. Hope you're fine. So you're doing white work onto the other side. So you turn it over, and you're going to use the bigger sort of ball tool. But you don't, oh, I think I've got it on the wrong side, silly me. So all you do is you just decide where you would like some white on your picture you're creating, whatever your image is, and you just put it in by rubbing that on the back very gently. You don't need a lot of pressure, because you know, you don't want it to go right through to the other side, but then you can see I've done a bit of that on there. And I might want some on the mountains to make it look a wee bit more like snow. So you can just follow it round like that, and you get the gist of what I'm actually meaning. So I can just do a bit more up here just to show you, and then we can do our florally one and make it into a card. So do some there as well, just to give the mountains. You can colour these as well with pencils. I wouldn't use felt pens, but you can if you wanted to use coloured pencils. You could, especially if you're doing it on just the white parchment, you could do it. I wouldn't think you can't really do it on the other parchment, the coloured one, because it wouldn't show up as well. But so there's a bit of an idea. But if you wanted, I'll just show you. If you wanted to put a bit of blue on, for example, you could just put a little bit blue here, just as an example, just to brighten it up. You can see it. You could put a bit on the moon if you wanted to just do that with the moon as well. Just wherever you fancy, you know. And you obviously can do different colours. I'm just showing you in blue at the minute. But there you go. And then if you just wanted to even do a little bit of, I'm trying to find a colour in here that would work. I think I've got some green here. So you could do a bit of green down the bottom if you wanted. It depends what you're doing. If you're doing this type of scenery thing, yeah, you could kind of do that. Let's take that off just now. And I'm just doing it really quickly for the video. Obviously, if you were doing it, you would take your time to do it. So yeah, you can kind of see, if I put a bit of black maybe behind it, you can kind of see where I'm going with that. So we're going to now do, so I've kind of shown you the basics of that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take another piece of, we're going to turn it back over, and we're going to take another piece of parchment. We're going to put our plate down, ready. Just take these off. And I'll be cutting this down because I want it to fit into my card, which is going to be smaller than this. So the plate that I'm going to use this time is actually a Christmas plate. I'm going to be using this flower here and possibly that one, obviously not the Christmas tree, and I want to maybe use this plate as well, just to give it a little bit of a border around the edge. So I'll just pop this, oh no, I don't do that at all, surely. So I'm just going to pop on this plate. Once I get it out the bag, just find the end. So there is lots of videos out there and things that you could watch on YouTube as well that will tell you a bit more about Parchment Craft. But I'm kind of self-taught as I am on a lot of stuff. I obviously have watched demonstrations, but I'm quite self-taught. So you find the part that's slightly raised, and you know that that's the part that you need to put facing up the way, and you pop it into your grid. And then you pop your parchment paper over the plate, secure it down with your sticky stickers, usually at each corner, and then that will keep it down. And then you choose your tool that you're going to use, your number, So I'm wondering if I can use tool 2 this afternoon. I don't usually use 3. Yeah. Right, I'm going to still use my tool 1. So I'm going to do this image here with the flowers and the holly, and I might do that one, but I'll not be doing the tree because we're a bit past Christmas now. So it's just a case of starting, feeling for the line and following it round with your tool, and just taking your time to do that. So holding your tool probably up, more upwards than like a pencil, more like upright, you get a better image. And that's what I find anyway. Okay, so just carry on down there. So has anybody else done this before? Parchment Craft. Anybody else? No? We can just go in. Oh, hi Shona, thanks for coming in. We're just doing some Parchment Craft just now. Just showing people how it works. It's very therapeutic, very easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's very therapeutic. And once you get to know how to do it, it's pretty easy, I think, anyway. So just finding all the little ridges, and I've turned around and I'm using number 2 for these little dots just now because I feel that's better. And trying to hold your pen or your tool upright is actually better than trying to hold it like you would go back to number 1. Hold it like you would a pen or a pencil. So you're just following round all the wee grooves. There's wee grooves in these plates underneath. Just bringing your tool round. I mean, you get all the instructions if you were going to use Groovy Plates. You get all the instructions obviously in it as well. And as I say, there's various YouTube videos, I'm sure. I mean, I'm doing one. I'll probably upload this to YouTube as well. So that'll be another video, but I'm sure there must be somewhere out there a whole lot of YouTube videos that other people have done on this one. So you're just following it round. I think we'll just do the one flower because it does take a wee while and I don't want you to get bored watching. So you can't really go wrong because you're just getting into these wee grooves, hence it's called Groovy Plates. So you can't really go out of those. Similar to tracing. Yeah, it is, I suppose, similar to tracing, Linda, in a way. So, you know, if you're good at tracing, I think then that perhaps you'd be good at doing this. Because you have to, as I say, all you're doing is putting your tool into this groove underneath. And that's going round the groove, drawing round the image that are making up, these grooves are making up the images. So you can't really go that wrong. So we'll just do this one too. It's really nice, this in particular image. Oh. And we're just about done. And then we're going to go on to double embossing, double heat embossing, which is really quite clever. So that's the image that you get. Groovy Shirley, very good, sisters. My sisters are calling me Groovy. I suppose that's quite good, isn't it? And then you can go round here and frame it with your frame all the way down. And then if you want the outer frame, you just do the same. So just find the groove and then you just pull your tool along, and that's what gives you the lovely beautiful images. I'm just going to go back in with my tool number 2 to get these wee dots as part of the flower, and then we will be able to just put the card together, and then we'll do the messy bit. There we go. So that's your image done on there. Now I can do a little bit of white work, which I might do. I'm going to take these stickers off just now because I don't need them. So I usually just stick things on the backs of my hand, and I'm going to turn the pad over to the soft side, and then I'm going to turn this over to the softer side, and I'm going to use my other tool. So if I want to do some white work, I'm going to do some round here. I think I might use this side actually, just to give that a wee bit of shade. Just make sure I'm doing it on the right side, or am I? Yes, I am. So just in the areas that you think might have or need shading, just do it in there. Or the bits that you might like white as a contrast. It's just nice to have a wee bit difference. And from this side it doesn't look like you're actually doing much, but when you turn it over you will see that you are doing quite a bit. You will see, really will see, when you turn it over. I'm sure I'm not doing this on the right side actually. No, that's right. I think anyway. I think it is. Where is it? this side I should be doing it on. I think it's this side, yeah, I've done it on the wrong side, sorry. So it's the side facing up that you should be doing the white work on, like this, the side that you made the marks with. So that's where you do the white work. So it stays on the same side as that, and then that you turn your mat to the opposite side. So here we go. I didn't think it didn't seem right. Anyway, so you can do, some of your dots can be white, some don't have to be. They could all be white if you were using this particular design. It's entirely up to you. Like anything, it's entirely up to you. So when you turn round, you're seeing that nice white work. I don't know if you can see it. You can see that nice white work there. I'll bring it in a bit, maybe a bit better, nearer. So I'll turn it back round and just do a little bit more on these leaves. So remember, you're using that much bigger tool with, it's got a bigger, it's probably got the biggest ball on the end. So just use that. It is lovely, it's so delicate. It's just so pretty. I mean, I have got other, oh, I've just ripped that by mistake, that's why I don't put too much pressure on. I have got lots of other plates, but I just wanted to use these ones because they were quite nice. So there we go, then you see that again on the leaves. And you could still colour that in if you really wanted as well. You could colour the flowers in too. Yeah, it is. It's very effective. It's lovely, and it, as I say, it's very therapeutic. You can just sit at night with this on your knee, watching TV or listening to radio or whatever, or just not listening to anything. Just, you know, doing one of these things, and it's just lovely. So here we go. So I was going to use, I'll turn it back, I think I'm going to make this into a card. So what time are we at? Oh, time has passed quickly. So I'm turning this back to here, and I'm going to now put in this one with the squares around. So remember, find the ones with the raised up bit. I'll go out a bit just to do, and then I'll bring this back in. So we're finding the bit that we did it on. So I'm just trying to see if I can get a square in there. So if that's in that square, that's fine. What I want to do here is just do a square edge the other side. Hope you're all enjoying this and you're not bored. I don't know if I've done that the right way actually. So just find your top line here and just go along and just bring that there. And you can also do this one if you want. Just to bring a couple of bits in there, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in the other plate from that last one, which was this tiny little this little flower here, and I'm going to do it at the opposite side. I think that's right, I think I should have done it it away. Yeah, I should have done it that way. So just let's get this over. And here, just stick it on. We'll get the other side done, and then that'll be us done. And then we can make it into a lovely card. So, I'm just trying to get it in there. Doesn't have to be, it could be slightly further down. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. So, right, so just quickly do this. Just going to do this flower here. I'm not going to do the wee one. So find your grooves and then just quickly do, well not quickly, we'll just do this flower as well. It's 3 flowers. Excuse me. It's 3 flowers, isn't it? Yeah. Missed that one there. My voice seems to have gone. You're all very quiet. You're not saying much. Usually when I go on these lives, other people are saying all this stuff, and like Janice will say to her folks, come in and have a cup of tea, sit beside the fire. Nobody's doing that in this sort of thing. I suppose I didn't say that. Come in and sit by the fire. I don't actually have one, but I suppose we could pretend. My lives are always quite quiet. Nobody says anything. Nobody comments. It must be too scary or something. I don't know. Suppose this is a time of night when people are probably getting ready for their dinner, and well, unless you live like Cindy in Washington, just getting up. We're not long up. I think that is so funny that you live 10 minutes away from my brother-in-law, Cindy. You're still here. I don't know if you are. But, yeah, I think that's a small world. Definitely. Right, so that's that bit done. And now we can take that off and we can go over to the other side and quickly do some white work on it. Put this away, I don't need these now. And then we can cut it down to size. Oh, well, I've already pulled that off, haven't I? Just as well, we're cutting it to size. Well, that's because it's on the opposite side, isn't it? Silly. Right, so take this off. We're finished with those. And turn that around. I'll get rid of these now. Down on the floor. Running out of space here. So we're going to turn it around And we're going to use the bigger ball tool here. Is that right? Was that what I did? Okay. I've been confused with the way it, yeah, I did it on this side. So just colour in a few of these wee berries. I think I did it this side, surely. Sorry folks, I'm getting mixed up here. It doesn't take lot to get me mixed up, I'm afraid. See if that's working. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then just come in if you want to on the leaves. Nice wee holly leaves. You can just give them a wee bit of colour. White colour this is. You can colour them in though, as I said. I don't really want to put any much more onto that. I think that's probably fine, just as it was. Oh, do you know why it's not working? I haven't turned it on that side. I was wondering, I was thinking, nothing's really working properly. That's it. Oh gosh, shoot me now. Right, yeah, that's it. That's better. Definitely. Yeah, you can see that now, so that's pretty nice. And I think I'll just leave it like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. And actually I forgot to show you that you could use this to draw around with as well, because that keeps in place, but I never did it. So perhaps if I come on next time I'll do that again. We can use that guard. So it's ready now. I've got a card base, excuse me, and I've got a black bit of card. So the card base is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and the black matte layer is what did I say? This was 5 1/2. This is 5 1/4. Sure that's right. So we're just going to put this on top. So it should actually be this way round. So I'm going to just cut it down with my trimmer, and then we can put it together with some glue or some tape, but we need to be really careful because we don't really want it to be seen. You see what I mean? So we'll just cut that one. Just there. Cut that off. Cut this bit off at the bottom. I don't really do measurements, I'm afraid. That's why my boxes always turn out rubbish, because my measurements are always wrong. But I just tend to eyeball it, and that's what I'm good at, is doing it like that. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's just see if that's going to fit on. It is. Pretty good, I think. So we're just going to cut it a little bit more at this side, very slightly. And then we're going to adhere it to the black card. I just want a very tiny, tiny black piece round the edge. So first of all, we're going to adhere our black card to the base card. So I'm going to just do that with the tape runner pen, which is very good and quick. You all still here? Oh, it's gone down to 4 people now. Oh dear. sure that's kind of the same all the way around roughly. Just pop that on. Do you know I've got, because I've been practicing embossing this afternoon, I've got it everywhere. What's new? I'm just going to bring that up again, and I hope you can still all see. Okay, because the light is fading. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the tiniest wee bit of glue tape runner in the corner of each bit. I'm sure you're still going to see it very slightly, but that's all I can do. So now what we do is we just pop our, pop it on. Should have a very, very thin line border round, like so. And then that's it. That's our card. And I can put a thumbs up for the tape runner. Yes, yes, very much so. Thumbs up for the tape runner. So I can now, if I can get a bit of scrap paper. I'm now saying in my bin for scrap paper. No, there is a bit of paper in here that I can use, and I'm just going to cut it a long thin piece. And I know I grovelled in my bin for it, which is probably silly. But I'm just going to put a sentiment across here. And I'm just going to make it be one of these type sentiments. It's like a banner type thing, I think. I'm just seeing what that would look like, or maybe that wouldn't look so good. Maybe I'll change that and make it this type thing. Thank you, Karen. Make it into a this type of banner type thing. Yeah, I think that'd be better. It's maybe a bit too big right enough as well. I don't want it to be massive. Massive. No, I don't like that. I don't like it. Oh dear. Oh dear. I like that. That's probably better. Right, I'm just heading off for a stamp set. Bear with me. Let's have a wee. I've got this Stampin' Up one called Sending You Thoughts, and I'm just going to use black memento ink when I found it. I saw it a minute ago. So pop that off, and I'm just going to find one that says sending a little something, and I've got a block here. Just put on. You liked the first one. What first one? Oh, the first one I cut out. This one. Maybe a bit narrower. Okay, we'll do that one then. Okay. Right, let's try this. Let's go for this. Get it round the right way. And there we go. And the S hasn't come out on that one. That's not very good. It says ending. I need to turn it over, you know, and start again. So let's make sure we get the S in that. There. There, that better. Right, so we're just going to stick that on with some sticky tape, pen runner, across the back. Oh, it's the wrong way. Dear, no it's not. This is just new, it can't be run out already. So just bring that back across and we're just going to stick that on there. Okay, and that's the card made up. So I hope you like it. And now we're going to go on to some double embossing. So we'll pop that away at the minute. And we're going to try and do some of this. Well, we are going to do some of this. I was practicing it earlier. Double embossing, double heat embossing. So what that is, just put these bits and pieces away just now down there. Hopefully the cat doesn't get them. So what that means is that what I was doing this afternoon was heat embossing base pieces of card with one colour, and then I was stenciling over the top and then putting a different embossing powder over the top and then heating them again to seal them, and I was getting these lovely designs. Okay Karen, thanks for coming on. Catch you later, thanks. So I was getting this look, I was getting that was silver with a sort of crystal opaque over the top, which was quite nice. That was a gold base with the black over the top, which was really nice. This was silver base with gold over the top, and this was gold with silver over the top. So once you know how to do it, it is pretty easy. So, but you do need to have a heat tool like this, a heat tool. So if you don't have a heat tool, you wouldn't be able to do it. So this is going to get really messy. I've got a silicone mat for when I'm using my heat gun so that I don't burn my paper doesn't go up in flames. I've got this to catch my embossing powder hopefully, and I've got several embossing powders that I'm using, and they're all super fine. I think you need super fine embossing powder or it won't really work, I don't think. So I've also got my wee embossing buddy, which is an anti-static bag, and that just takes any other static away that you don't want around your design. So I've got a couple of card bases here, and I've got a couple of white cards that I'm going to use to do two designs on. So let's get started. So the first thing to do is that you pick a colour, and as I said, these are embossing powders, you get them anywhere, you can get them in any crafty shop, you probably get them on Amazon, you'd probably get them in Hobbycraft, the range, you know, anywhere really. I tend to use Wow as one make, but you also get other ones that are, oh, the cat's decided she wants to join. Stampendous, these ones are, and this one's Cosmic Shimmer. So you get a variety, it doesn't really matter. I think they're all much of a muchness. I'm going to start, and I'm going to use my first card. I'm going to use, I think, the gold. Okay, and I do need, where did I put them? Where did I put it? Millie, I don't know what you're up to, but you're being a bit annoying. She's being annoying, folks. You'd never have guessed. Inquisitively annoying. I have some, I don't know if I've popped them back in here or not. No, I don't know what I've done with it. I had a pair of tweezers that I was using to hold my paper in place, but oh no, here they are, here they are. So if you've got these kind of little tweezers that can hold your paper in place, because you've got to be very careful, the heat gun can and will get very hot. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to, oh, and I forgot to say, you also need to use a sticky glue called Versamark. This is sticky ink, I should say, not sticky glue, sticky ink. Oh, you need to go, really? Okay, thanks then, Shona. So sticky ink is Versamark, and it's a clear ink, and this is usually what you would use to do all of your embossing, okay, and your heat embossing anyway, because there's another type of embossing which is called, it's an embossing folder which you run through your machine, but this is heat embossing, so you're using a sticky ink so that the embossing powder sticks to it, and then you're using the gun, the heat tool, the heat gun, whatever you want to call it, to fix it in place. So what I'm doing is I'm just going all over my card with the Versamark pad. I'm not dragging it, I'm just pressing it down and making sure I go all over it like so. And you're going to see some magic happen. Yes, you are. You're going to see some magic. This is the best thing. It's even still amazing, even though you've seen it before. But I remember when I first saw heat embossing for the very first time, I was like, wow, that is amazing. That is so amazing. So once you've done that, and once you're satisfied you've covered it all, you pop it into your tray, and you choose your embossing powder, which I have chose gold, and you pop that all over your card. So you want to just cover it, so it's a bit like when you were at school and you wanted to cover it, your paper, with glitter, and then you tap it off, and that's, don't worry about that corner. So this thing here is really for putting your glitter back into your tub without making a mess, and I've managed to do it this time. So that's all gone back in. Now what we need to do is we need to get our silicone mat. Try not to get it covered in stuff, but you know, these things just can't be helped. It can get washed. So grab your piece of paper at the corner, bring it over, and just hold it there. And then I'm going to put my heat tool on, so if you don't want, to turn your sound down, you can do. So I'm just going to switch it on. I'm just going to let it heat up for a few minutes. And it's quite warm, so then if you watch the magic now, you watch this magic, it's amazing. You're going to see the magic. You can see it starting to heat up now, and it's changing colour. Hopefully you can see that. It's got a change colour, and that is it heat fixing. see it changing colour, and isn't that amazing? I just think that's amazing even now. And I've been paper crafting for over 10 years. Seriously paper crafting anyway. So once you're satisfied it's all cooked, you just stop and you can do your next part. Just be very careful because it's fine. So the next thing that I do is the bit with the stencil. So what we need to use this time is our anti-static buddy, because it takes away any static, any parts that we don't want covered with you know, embossing powder that in different areas. So we take our wee embossing buddy and we just go right all over the whole thing, and then we find a stencil, and I've got this stencil here that I really want to use because it's really nice. And we get the bag off this one because it's stuck to it. So we find whatever our stencil is, we find a part that we would like to put on it. So this time I'm going to go for this part more than the, I think, or will I do this again? Actually, I'll go for the full dragonfly this time. So all you do is hold on and try not to let go and make it move. You can tape it down if you really want to. I'm not going to, but you could if you wanted to. And I've got a small sticky ink, Versamark. You could use a dauber and you could daub it into there and go round like that, but I'm going to use a smaller one because I found it easier the last time to do it this way. So I'm just going to go in as if I'm doing a normal stencil where you would normally see where you're putting your ink. Just go round like that, doing all the bits. Making sure the stencil doesn't move. This one's bouncing about, but it's not moving as such. So it should be in the same place. So just keep going round, doing all that. Until you've covered as much as you want to cover. We've still got a few folk watching. Oh yeah, that's good. I don't want to be on my own. And then once you've done that, take it off. And then we're going to add the next lot of embossing powder. So we're going to pop this underneath. And I think you can possibly just see a bit of what I've done on there. Yep. So hopefully that will come out. Just kind of see it a wee bitty. So let's try the black. I'm going to try the black this time. So just go over the top. that. And just make it all go in the bits that you want it to go in. And there you go. And then find your silicone mat, pop that on the top, like that. Put your embossing powder away first before you start the heat gun, because you don't want embossing powder flying all over the place, or it will just be a glittery mess. And then what to do again is just fire your heat tool up again and just start heating it. Yeah, isn't it? Cool. I like it too. Really like it. Just start heating that up. And it change again, it just change as it goes along. Make sure you get all the bits so they all get cooked. There we go, and that's it. So, and then that's your double embossing. So you used your gold, you fixed it, and then you used your black with the stencil, and I think that's absolutely beautiful with the black as well. So we'll make that into a card. I'm probably going to have to cut it down though slightly at the corner, or I could just cut it at the corner like so. Just to make it slightly different. So I'll just make this one up. So I'll just pop some tape runner again onto the front, and hopefully that's not smudging it or anything. No, because it's fixed, it should be fine. Some tape runner up to there, and down there, and across there, and just pop that onto your card. I'm going to do it, no, I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to just make sure that's right, and there. There we go, and just turn that onto its front. Oh, I've got a wee thing over there. And that's your first card, doing double embossing. And obviously I will put something on the corner there to fix that. So that's your first card. So we're going to do another one quickly, as I know time's running on. It's now 6:15 and people are probably wanting their dinner, or maybe had it. I've had mine early. Right, so I've got another piece of paper and I'm going to do the same trick with it. I'm going to go round with my embossing. I'll take that away because it's a bit covered in stuff. Take that away. I think we've got embossing powder everywhere anyway. So I'm just going to go round again, putting some Versamark sticky ink on again. And just going to get as much as I can in. Yeah, it does. It comes to life with the torch. It's actually a heat gun, but anyway, you can call it a torch if you like. I guess it's a heat gun. So the next one I'm going to use is, what did I use gold first? So I'm going to use silver this time. So I'm going to go over the whole thing again with this colour I want for the base, which is my silver. There we go. And I've got it on my mat already. So I'm now just pushing this back in. You need to go. Oh, Linda. Okay, thanks for coming in to watch anyway. You can always watch the end on replay if you want to. So I'm going to pop this back onto my silicone mat. And I'm going to heat this back up again with the heat gun. So watch the magic happen. We've got to go through, guys. Okay. Thanks for watching. Watch the rest on YouTube. Okay. I think the other people have just gone away. It's the same. Never mind. Can't see everyone. Remember to keep the gun moving, because if you don't, you end up burning a hole in your card. And you don't want a hole in your card. So you have to keep it moving round the place. Or obviously it will suddenly you get a hole in your card. You don't want. There we go. That's that. Oh, I've got one person watching. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to move this because I don't want, I'll move up myself. So it's still got one person watching. That's brilliant. Is that Celia? That's great. Thanks, Celia. Thanks for your support. Right, so this time I'm going to choose another stencil. And it's this little flowery one here, this little floral one that I'm going to use. It's a metal type stencil. So, trying to get it out of the pack. So there we go. So, what I need to do is to find just the middle there. Because I'm going to do it in the middle type, and then I can chop it down to fit. So, oh, I forgot to put the embossing body. Always put the embossing body down before you go to do it, because you don't want to get any excess stuff on your project. So what I might do actually is just come in at one side and do the stencil here instead of doing the whole thing. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the Versamark, small one going over the top of the stencil and just keeping it inside that edge there. Go. And once you're quite happy with that, you could then move to the opposite side and do the same thing at the other side. So you're leaving a band down the middle. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm leaving a band down the middle. Say you can tape it. You could tape it down if you're not very confident about just holding it in place. You could just tape it down. So that'll do, because I think I moved it there. Right, so now I'm going to put it back into my tray, and this time I'm going to use, now what have I got here, what's this? Crystal transparent, and this is a silver as well, so I think I've probably just used the gold on this one. So cover over. You can get coloured embossing powders as well. I have got a few, but they're not super fine, and I think that really you need the super fine for, oh, a bit there I haven't quite managed to do. I wonder if I missed that bit out. I must have. No worries. No worries at all, I can fix that. So before you do any heat tool stuff, put your powder away, because you don't want it to go flying all over the room. But Shirley's just knocked it onto the desk. Mind. Put that back on, and then get your, just ping it a bit on the back as well, just to get any unwanted bits off. Put that bit there. I don't really want that, but I think I'm going to be chopping this down now anyway. So try and get rid of this off your mat. Put your silicone mat back down again. Put your project down, and then start to heat. I'm probably going to cut it down, just because it's been involved in the powdered loose. I'll just fix it so that it doesn't go anything. that's it done. Yeah, I could do. So that's that one done. So it's came out quite nice, but I might have to do something with that to cover it up. So if I just find my base card again, I'm just going to get rid of this because it's a total mess. Well, who doesn't make messes? So I did my last card with that one, and that was my next one. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to get my trimmer back. That one's okay, I just need to add bits to it. This one I am going to just cut to there. Nothing. Cut that bit away. And then I'm going to, with this one, I'm going to just put that onto there. And I'm actually going to cut, or I could put it that way, I suppose. I might cut my card down. Let's see if we can use this other bit actually. Cutting it down a bit, get rid of that. Yeah, we could actually use that, I think, in there. So we'll cut it down, but we could actually stick that back on. What we could do, just had an idea, is cut that up the middle too, there roughly, and we could have 3 different parts that will stick on. And I think I'm going to stick them on with glue because that one's starting to come up, the other one. So what we'll do is we'll stick this one in the middle. Just using a bit of white glue to stick this down, like so. Oh, I got glue on the back. There we go. And then we can put this one down the bottom with some white glue. And then we can put this one at the top. And then I think we'll need to put a book on it to flatten it because it's a bit sticking up. And then put your top one on with same white glue as you did the others. Just hold them down for a bit. They are a bit turned up and buckled because of the fact they've been heat embossed, and that's why they're a bit like that. So just try and hold that down a bit more. I'm going to do another resentiment on the front. I'm just trying to give it a bit of pressure here, just so that it stays down a bit. It's still kind of looking like it's not, but that's okay. So we're now going to add a little sentiment, and we're going to use the Sending Thoughts again. And I'm going to put Happy Birthday on it. There we go. So I'm just just going to be raking in my bin again for any wee scraps of paper that I might have chucked in it. It might fit. No, I think I have to use this bit again. So I'm just going to cut just cutting today. I'm not getting my punches in. I'm just cutting out a wee rectangle there, and I'll find my block. I'm just going to use my Memento ink again, and I find it. It's hiding somewhere under somewhere. Where are you, ink? Oh, that seems to have. Oh, there it's up there. I'm just going to put that on. I'll make sure it's up the right way and stamp that in the middle. Like so, there we go. And then I'm just going to stick that on with some stamping foam pads at the back. One, two, three, like so. I can either put it in the middle. I think I'll put it in the middle because I think it looks quite nice in the middle. So that's my card done, my second card. First card, I haven't put anything on it, but I probably will cover this area with something. I'm not sure what at the minute, but that's me done. And so I'd like to thank those who came on, and thanks for Celia for staying on for a nice long time. These are my 3 cards, my parchment card and my 2 double embossing cards as well. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you might try this for yourself maybe, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday at the same time, where I don't know what we'll be doing, but I'll put it in my event when I put it on at the end of the week. So yes, the fine glitter melts. It's not glitter, it's embossing powder. It's not glitter. It's glittery, but it's actually embossing powder, and the heat gun melts it and fixes it into place so it doesn't move. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to all those who came on, and I look forward to seeing you again next Monday. Have a good week and stay safe. Bye for now.